With E3 just around the corner and the absolute state of gaming being the Fortnite dancing, microtransaction-ridden gambling hellhole it's slowly becoming, or wait, are we already there? Gaming nihilism aside, this is an anime-focused channel, therefore I will talk about anime games. There's a fascinating world when it comes to anime games. We have the licensed anime titles, like Naruto, Ninja Storm, and Dragon Ball FighterZ. Then there's original IP games in an anime style, think all of Square Enix's library. This, however, doesn't always mean that licensed games are better. Most of the time, the game done in an anime style needs to sell you on gameplay, story, and whatever weeb shit you want to keep your attention. For some games, that's kinky skins, and others, it's gambling for PNGs. Either way, here's a very subjective list of the good, the bad, and the ugly anime games, based purely off of anecdotes and observations. You're not gonna play all of these? You think I have time and money to spend on all these games? I still have a crippling addiction to Riot's games. What do you mean? Alright, let's start out with JRPGs. Good JRPGs. Fire Emblem. I played Fates, really enjoyed it, got through all of Conquest, wasn't really able to finish Revelations, but all in all, the soundtrack was really good, the gameplay loop was fun, and the incorporation of visual novel elements was great. Would I play the other games? Probably not. Although, Tharja and Awakening might make me act up enough to buy it. Final Fantasy, a crucial series when it comes to JRPGs. Using an anime style to portray its world and characters, I've played 7, 13, and 15, and can definitely tell you these games are not casual. 7 was enjoyable, and I was able to complete it. However, 13 and 15 were slogs to get through. Personally, I enjoy games that are brief, but keep you constantly engaged, rather than games that overstay their welcome and treat you like dirt, similar to a high school sweetheart. Dragon Quest and Chrono Trigger. I really like the art style on both of these games. I lumped them together because of it. Chrono Trigger is the only one I've completed of the two, and it's an engaging title with a great story, atmosphere, and gameplay. Dragon Quest looks cool, and the slime kinda looks like Popo. Persona. Personally, I've never finished a Persona game. I played a bit of 5 through an emulator, but at that point JRPGs kinda died for me. I lost interest shortly after that. Phantasy Star Online 2, PSO2 for short, has been going on for a very long streak now, incorporating different licensed animes and games into their DLC and cosmetics. The game, however, is very outdated, and by the time I was able to play, it had already gone sour. Editing Tristan here. There's been a revitalization update. This is what I get for working on a video, a couple days in advance, because hell, I didn't even know this existed. But PSO2 apparently got a complete redo, complete makeover for the modern ages. Would I recommend it? No, because every outlet that I've seen has said it's garbage. So take that what you will. It's free. And as it is, if it's free, it's for me. Xenoblade was very fun. Not for my Wii though. Sounded like it was having a severe case of tuberculosis trying to run that game. But on the flip side, Nier is great. Haven't gotten the chance to play Replicant yet, but Platinum Games, they always hit it out of the park with their combat, and those skins, they ain't too bad either. Bad JRPGs. I really don't play that many JRPGs other than the big ones because there are more titles than each dollar in Venezuela's GDP. By far though, the most disappointing JRPG I've played is Monster Hunter. I'm gonna get a lot of hate for this. Granted, I only played Monster Hunter World, but the grinding got so tedious, I'd rather own a Tamagotchi. Still better than SAO Hollowed Head though. Fighting games. I got a bone to pick with Arena Fighters. I'm not gonna split up the games in this category because to me it's either a competent fighting game or a cash grab arena fighter. So far, the Naruto Storm series is the only competent arena fighter where the combat is crisp, the game is pristine and polished, and the story and multiplayer modes are engaging. Besides those 45-minute cutscenes. I can't say if Kill la Kill IF is any good, as I have not played it for myself, but it definitely looks good. And the Demon Slayer game looks fairly polished from the early gameplay. It doesn't change the fact that the story is subpar. Dragon Ball FighterZ is a perfect love letter to Dragon Ball and fighting game fans. I always get hyped watching the tournaments, the raid bosses are great, and it fills the Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite-shaped hole in my heart. Even if the single player ages like bread. Arc System Works can do no wrong, and has also made the Guilty Gear and BlazBlue series, truly the greatest when it comes to anime fighters. Now if they could partner with Capcom to remake the JoJo arcade game, that would be nice. I'd say Tekken is an anime fighter. The over-the-top story, the extravagant characters, and that panda. That panda is not merely Panda! Bad fighting games. Alright, time to put these arena fighters on blast. Xenoverse, One's Justice, JoJo Eyes of Heaven, and of course, the ugliest of them all, Jump Force. The game that looks like it was hit by a goddamn bus. Not gonna go too in depth on these because they're all sort of similar. Some minor homages, callbacks, or some pretty graphics aren't enough to make me say a game is good. Gameplay, polish, and single player experience are key factors, and none of these games do either. Clunky controls, repetitive CPU battles that can be cheesed with one combo, and quest after quest for a measly cutscene just to drag out the game length. I'm looking at you, Jump Force. Shooters and action games. Not many anime shooters out there. The ones that are were shut down, Guns, Ghost in the Shell First Assault, and the numerous amount of Korean free-to-play shooters that are probably mining crypto when you're not looking. However, if we're talking real FPSs, then I think I can say that Riot Games made Valorant anime-inspired, and before that, Overwatch was anime/comic book inspired as well. But if you wanted to get good at any of those games, we all knew Hentai Aim Trainer is the best out of all of them. Alright, rhythm games. I've only played the good ones, not really much of a rhythm gamer myself, but Muse Dash, Fighterz, Osu, the Project Diva games are my personal favorites. Rhythm games are an acquired taste, as I've come to learn, but to me, many anime-inspired rhythm games are without a doubt some of the best visual-wise. The only comparison I really got is Guitar Hero and Geometry Dash. There are a lot of bad indie anime rhythm games as well, but with Osu being free and Project Diva games emulatable with mods, I can't really defend them. Visual novels. Not a very heavy visual novel person either. I dabbled in a couple here and there, Steins Gate, Danganronpa, and probably the objectively greatest one, Ace Attorney. But I'm not here to discuss the good ones because I'd rather play Oppa Academy, Nekopara, Ditzy Demons, Fate Stay Night, and all the other cultured VNs with H patches. Because realistically, the final version of visual novels are dating sims. So rise up, my 2D brethren! The era of 3D girls is over! Spread the gospel! If it ain't 2D, it ain't for me! Gacha games and anime-themed events. If you play gacha games, you are the problem. There once was a boy who'd received his first smartphone during freshman year of high school. At this time, he loved anime, and looked at anything related to it as a goldmine. One day, that boy came across a game called Dragon Ball Dokkan Battle, a game he didn't know at the time riddled with gacha mechanics. The boy was poor, and knew if he used mommy's credit card, he'd meet a fate worse than death. So he played the game religiously, farming premium Z tokens or whatever the hell they were called, until he progressed far enough to the point it became pay to play. And realized the game he was playing for about a month was ass. After uninstalling it, he vowed never to touch a gacha game again. The end. Now, if it was like that for most people, shitty mobile game companies wouldn't be selling PNGs for literally millions of dollars! If you are in gacha hell, what are you doing? Can't you see you've been brainwashed into playing a gambling software disguised as a quote-unquote game that views you as a number rather than a player? Well, gacha are free to play, so I don't really see the big deal. Alright, go ahead and spend your money on garbage, while Xi Jinping laughs at you for spending money on his Bitcoin miner, feeding off of excrement like a goddamn pig. It's not even about the money aspect. All these quote-unquote games have terrible gameplay loops, atrocious designs, and you're expected to go, $5 for booba. Stop the PNG simping and force these studios to make a competent game. That aside, anime events in any game is enjoyable. They're usually cosmetic, fairly cheap, and give you some weeb drip over other players. Notably, Riot Games has done this with Valorant and League. I mean, of course they did, their main player base is Asia. R6, CS, and even Warzone got in at one point. I think the best anime crossover event, though, was definitely when they put Rick into Fortnite. If you did enjoy that video, like, comment, subscribe, do it! Make sure to have yourself a damn good one. 316, out.